Hello, welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd, and you were watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. So, I want to talk to you guys about nuclear war once again. Okay, we've got this report that's come out from Russia. Russia's begins their third phase of tactical nuclear war drills, and they're using dummy warheads apparently on their Iskander-M operational and tactical missile systems, and they're practicing covertly moving them to launch sites. Okay, with dummy warheads. So they're preparing and actively training to utilize these tactical nuclear weapons in a war with NATO. Okay, is what they're doing. They're preparing for a major nuclear war with the United States. And obviously, tactical nuclear weapons are not strategic nuclear weapons. Strategics are designed to completely obliterate cities or countries or either much larger warheads. Okay, these tactical nuclear weapons are for combat missions. They're for much smaller missions. And obviously, if Russia's doing this, they are actively preparing for some sort of major clash with NATO, with the West, with Europe, with the United States, whatever you want to call it. Um, Lots of people, they laugh at this and they say that no, this is never going to happen. Nuclear war is just a big show. It's just talk. It's just theater. It's whatever. But at the same time, Russia is actively preparing right now for a nuclear conflict, okay? Whether that be strategic or whether it be tactical, they are preparing to utilize nuclear weapons in the event that war breaks out between NATO and Russia. So I want to talk some more about this today. We've got a quick article to go over, and then I want to show you guys a video that came out from Russia's defense ministry that's been released on X as of yesterday. So let's go ahead and get into this information, and let me show you this. So this is on Reuters. Russia starts third stage of tactical nuclear drills. Okay, this came out yesterday. Russia has begun the third stage of drills to practice the deployment of tactical nuclear weapons, the defense ministry said on Wednesday. In accordance with the decision of the president of the Russian Federation, the third stage of the exercise of non-strategic nuclear forces has begun, the defense ministry said in a statement on the Telegram messaging app. Soldiers from the southern and central military districts will train how to deploy dummy warheads for Iskander-M operational and tactical missile systems and covertly moving them to launch sites, the defense ministry said. The current stage of the exercise is aimed at maintaining the readiness of personnel and equipment of units of combat use of non-strategic nuclear weapons of Russia to perform combat missions. Okay, these are combat missions, not necessarily obliterating a city or obliterating a country or whatever. These are for combat missions is what they're preparing for right now, this third stage, okay? So Russia held the first stage of drills in May, and ally Belarus joined the second stage in June. Russia says that the United States and its European allies are pushing the world to the brink of nuclear confrontation by giving Ukraine billions of dollars worth of weapons, some of which are being used against Russian territory. Okay, it also says, sending thousands of troops into Ukraine on February 24th, 2022. President Vladimir Putin has repeatedly said Russia could use nuclear weapons to defend itself in extreme situations. Comments that the West have dismissed as saber rattling. Okay, so we have heard this many times. Okay, I've talked a ton to you guys about nuclear war on this channel and the potentials of it. That Russia's come out many times stating that they're at the brink of nuclear war with the West. So will this ever happen? Nobody ever knows. I hope that it never does. I really hope it never gets to the point that countries ever feel the need to defend their citizens with nuclear weapons and then we just start obliterating the planet. That obviously is not the solution to our problems. But based on the conflicts that we see around the world, the escalation that we see with these conflicts, the amount of hatred towards each other, the amount of disgust and just everything that everybody feels about each other. Everybody is so upset with each other's nation, neighboring nations even. Look at the Middle East, that it's bound to come at some point, okay? These types of events are bound to happen at some point if we don't have de-escalation. We haven't seen de-escalation for years now, okay? We've seen nothing but escalation. So it's definitely very possible for nuclear war to happen, and I see why Russia's preparing for this. And if you notice, no other countries are really doing this. No Western nations, they just write this off again, just like the article said, as saber rattling. and then Russia's over here actively preparing to go to war with NATO, strategically with nukes. And then at the same time, the West is not really doing that. If they are preparing, they're preparing for like ground operations. They've been doing the Steadfast Defender 2024 exercise that went on for like 3 months. They're preparing for conventional means of war, but nuclear war, we're not really seeing that from the West. It's mainly Russia. So let me show you this here on X now. From Noel Reports, the Russian Ministry of Defense has announced the start of the third phase of exercises to practice the use of tactical nuclear weapons. As per Putin's decision, the military will be working with Iskander-M systems during these exercises. So we've got a 1.5-minute video that I want to show you. This came from Russia's Ministry of Defense, showing their troops practicing, preparing for a tactical nuclear war situation. So take a look.
Есть штатные места?
Есть занятия.
Есть занять штатные места.
All right, so there you go. Russia is actively preparing for nuclear war with the United States, with NATO, with Europe. Okay, they're actively preparing right now, and that's them doing these tactical nuclear war drills, transferring these Iskander-M warheads to facilities that they could potentially launch these from. Okay, so again, regardless of how you feel about this, Russia is preparing right now for a nuclear strike on another country, or somewhere in Eastern Europe is most likely what this is designed for, or these drills are being practiced for. But something to think about is what would you do? I'm curious, what would you guys do? All my viewers, what would you do in the event of a nuclear war? Like, do you have an actual plan with yourself or your family, or if it's even just you and your dog or whatever it might be? What would you do if a nuclear war actually was announced? Like, let's say you just woke up one morning, it was like 6 a.m. and all of a sudden there's alerts on your phone that nuclear war has begun or something. Like, how would you actually prepare for that? What would you do? Where would you go? Some people would, maybe even say they just sit there and just wait. What can you really do? You can't really run from a nuclear weapon. Well, you can technically survive from a nuclear weapon if you're not directly in the blast, and if you're in a safe location away from all the nuclear fallout. So it is obviously survivable, but it's definitely something to think about, because obviously, we are at a time where nuclear war could definitely break out. So it's definitely something to think about. And as we get closer to these conflicts coming to an end, to me, in my opinion, that's where it's the most dangerous. Okay, because we're hearing that this war could end in Ukraine by potentially November, or maybe somewhere around by the end of the year. And a lot of the times when these wars come to an end, who knows if they're going to go out with a bang or what it might be, because we know that Russia wants to completely take over Ukraine. That's been very, very sought after for a long time, and been very obvious that that's something that Russia wants. What if Ukraine doesn't want that to happen? They want to just kind of end this war and just draw the battle lines where they're at and just give up this land that's been seized by the Russians. Who knows what's going to happen, but clearly they're preparing for something big, and that's why I wanted to share this information with you. So just let me know what you think down below regarding nuclear war. Like, are you prepared for it? Are you worried about it? Share your thoughts, concerns, and opinions down in the comment section regarding this topic. But that's going to be it for this update. If you got something out of this, please smash that like button. Also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing down below. Hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can notify you. And with that, hope y'all have a great day. Everybody take care and God bless. We'll see you in the next one.